एंटलर या किसी भी बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशन से हम लोग कैसे पैसे ले सकते हैं?
10 साल में 1 बिलियन की बनेगी तो अभी अगर 100 मिलियन पे भी मैं पैसा डालूं तो मेरा पैसा डूबेगा नहीं।
उस टाइम पे वैल्यूएशन कैसे डिसाइड होती है?
Valuation was one such VC who gave me a lot of time, but because I was very early for them.
I go with the same idea but I have execution, then they will prioritize me over you.
Yes.
What is the right channel? क्या मैं LinkedIn में मैसेज करूँ या मेल करूँ या फिर हर जगह करूँ?
Whether it's a small business or a bigger business, no business can be done without capital. And they were ready to talk to my investors, and the investor actually called a couple of them. I asked him what is he doing, and what I realized is that all the payments which are coming through UPI lack proper identification and it needs to be reconciled. First of all, they don't mingle around too much with your business.
Just because of you are the right person to solve, but कुछ build नहीं हुआ.
Antler took a bet on me, looking at all the data points that they had. Is that why are you the right person to solve a particular problem, and if the problem is big enough?
So I always say कि be बेशरम, and तुमको लाइफ में कभी भी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले तो जस्ट रीच आउट टू द पर्सन, जस्ट टॉक टू द पर्सन एंड पूछो उससे, तुमको जो चाहिए उसके लिए पूछो. सो रिसेंटली लास्ट फ्राइडे या थर्सडे वी वेंट टू MG रोड बैंगलोर में एंड एट मेला वेंचर का एक इवेंट था. इट वॉज वेरी नाइस एंड इट हैपन देन कि सिद्धार्थ भाई ही केम टू मी एंड देन वी वर talking over the networking खाते हुए we were talking about different things and he told me कि यार इनको last year या फिर इस year के start में he got funding from Antler and Antler is a big institutional VC जो कि seed stage पे invest करता है. एंड दैट मेड मी क्यूरियस कि यार यही तो मैं काफ़ी टाइम से सिखाना चाहता हूँ मेरी ऑडियंस को, तुमको सबको, कि यार एंटलर या किसी भी बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशन से हम लोग कैसे पैसे ले सकते हैं, हाउ वी कैन गेट सीड लेवल पे, प्री सीड लेवल पे अगर इन्वेस्टमेंट लेनी हो तो हम वो इन्वेस्टमेंट कैसे ले सकते हैं. एंड टुडे जस्ट 3 to 4 days आफ्टर मीटिंग वी आर हेयर एट सिद्धार्थ भाई के ऑफिस पे. ही इज बिल्डिंग BizPe इज समवेयर. आप बता सकते हो क्या BizPe के बारे में? आप इंट्रोड्यूस करो.
मेरा नाम सिद्धार्थ है. आई कम फ्रॉम अ मारवाड़ी फैमिली and while growing up I have seen challenges that small and medium businesses go through on a day-to-day basis. So we created a mobile app through which they can collect their money faster, look at their business and manage their business more effectively.
तो मुझे वो बताओ, पहली फीलिंग जो होती है ना कि जब हमको फंडिंग मिलती है, बिकॉज आप काफ़ी टाइम तक कॉर्पोरेट में थे एंड आई थिंक बीच में एक छोटा सा बिजनेस भी आपने करा था. बिजनेस फैमिली से आते हो बट एक खुद के पैसे मतलब खुद के दम पर ऑन अपने खुद के स्किल पे जब पहली बार एक इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट से, वो भी सीड लेवल पे जब आप पैसा लेते हो, तो फीलिंग क्या थी? हाउ डिड यू फेल्ट अबाउट दैट?
आई फेल्ट कि अब रिसोर्सेज हैं टू डू व्हाट वी वांटेड टू डू, बिकॉज वेदर इट्स अ स्मॉल बिजनेस और अ बिगर बिजनेस, नो बिजनेस कैन बी डन विदाउट कैपिटल. सो यू रिक्वायर सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ रिसोर्सेज एंड आई फेल्ट a sigh of relief that yes, I can now work on solving the problems that I always wanted to solve.
तो लाइक जैसे मैं जब किसी भी मीटअप वगैरह पे जाता हूँ राइट, तो मेजॉरिटी टाइम जो इशू होता है कि सब लोग पूछ रहे होते हैं क्या इस इन्वेस्टर से कनेक्ट कर दो, कोई इन्वेस्टर जानते हो क्या, बट देयर आर सो मेनी इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर जो सीड लेवल पे करते हैं और वो पब्लिकली अवेलेबल हैं, बट आई नॉट श्योर कि लोगों में अवेयरनेस नहीं है या फिर लोग जानते नहीं है या क्या इशू है. इनफैक्ट लाइक आई वॉज ऑल्सो सर्चिंग कि एंटलर पे कैसे अप्लाई करना है बट आई वॉज नॉट एबल टू फाइंड आउट. तो आप हेल्प करो, लाइक जस्ट टेल अस कि आप एंटलर तक कैसे पहुंचे. डिड इट वाज अ रेफरल, लिंक्डइन, कोल्ड मेल, हाउ इट वाज द प्रोसेस?
So basically Antler was not the first VC that I met. I was so all these VCs are very approachable. They have a lot of employees who are either associate analysts etc. who are available on a lot of different platforms like Mila Ventures etc. were available back then on the Thursday event. So I reached out to a lot of people over LinkedIn. Some of them responded.
Correct.
Valuation was one such VC who gave me a lot of time, but because I was very early for them, they chose not to invest in me at that point in time.
Got it.
Antler was running a campaign if you know someone who know us, then you get the immediate meeting with a partner.
Okay.
So I told the associate over there that since you guys are no longer investing, can you say that you know me? And thanks to him, I got a meeting with Antler partner, and that's how I was able to pitch to them. And so yeah, it's usually cold emails, and people get very, they are afraid of no's, so you get a lot of no's, and the only thing that you need is one yes to start with.
Got it. तो लाइक if like for somebody like जैसे मैं हूँ, ठीक है, तो let's say I have not met you and I don't know anyone, so is there any way, the shortest way to get to Antler या Antler जैसे investor के पास? I think they have a residency program, not sure आप
Yes,
you have
yes.
idea. So वो क्या है, अगर if you can put light or if you have any idea about that, and then if somebody else who doesn't know उसको apply करना हो, तो is there any shorter way?
So basically, Antler runs a residency program twice a year, wherein they shortlist some 100 plus folks in each residency. The idea is that people who are early stage and they want to concrete their ideas, how it would look like, the business, etc., meet some co-founders, etc. So they open the slot for a month, and they popularize themselves over LinkedIn, etc., where you can click on those links, tell about yourself, and if they like you, they'll call you. They reach out to a lot of people before creating that cohort. And some people out of that cohort get funding. I was not part of that cohort. I went to them directly for investment.
Achha, got it. I can see your pamphlet or something like that. Okay. Help me with this thing कि if you can थोड़ा सा brief में if you can explain कि BizPe actually कौन सी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना चाहता है, ठीक है, मतलब प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट क्या है, एंड देन व्हाट यू गाइस आर एक्चुअली डूइंग इट ऑन ग्राउंड. देन मुझे ये चीज़ बताओ, जैसे मैंने काफ़ी बार अपने चैनल पे भी बात करी है, मैंने इवेंट्स पे भी देखा है, काफ़ी लोग सिर्फ पीपीटी के साथ आ जाते हैं, एंड सम पीपल हैव बेसिक ट्रैक्शन, सम पीपल डजंट हैव एनी ट्रैक्शन. तो जब आप इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए जा रहे थे, तो व्हाट वाज दैट थिंग दैट हेल्प यू? वाज इट एग्जीक्यूशन, ट्रैक्शन, और सिर्फ आइडिया?
See, it's always better. I'll answer the second question first. BizPe के बारे में थोड़ी देर में बताते हैं. But it always helps if you have more traction, etc. But in my case, it was more about the insight that I had and the conviction to be able to to solve a difficult problem. Since I come from a business family and I've seen these businesses struggle with payment collection. So one of the things that happened in the market is that we all switched to UPI and we all switched to paying directly to the retailer via the UPI. So before that we used to give them money in cash.
Correct.
Now after the UPI movement, he started receiving money in his bank account directly, and the trade between a distributor, wholesaler or a retailer is always involves some sort of credit. So point of payment और point of sale जो है वो same नहीं होता है, और because point of payment और point of sale same नहीं है, तो payment asynchronously 10-15 दिन बाद आ रही होती है, तो आपको पता नहीं चलता है कि किसने पेमेंट किया है, किस लिए पेमेंट किया है. तो पहले ये पेमेंट फिजिकली होती थी, अब ये पेमेंट डिजिटली होती है. तो हमने एक प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया है जिसके थ्रू ये पेमेंट डिजिटली कलेक्ट भी की जा सकती है, रिकनसाइल भी की जा सकती है, सो दैट पीपल ऑन द ग्राउंड, स्मॉल डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स कैन हैव अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम which they were spending on reconciling, etc., every day. So we were solving that particular problem for them. And I saw the way I got the idea is that my father is in Rajasthan, but he was in Bangalore. Every night he would ask for a paper from my wife and he would do something. So he would delegate calls if it is coming for orders to all the employees that he had. But there is one small thing that he would do every day, every evening. So I asked him what is he doing, and what I realized is that all the payments which are coming through UPI lack proper identification and it needs to be reconciled. So he would write it on a piece of paper, take a photograph of it, and then send to his accountant. Sometimes he was not even able to figure out who sent the money because the screenshots, etc., did not came. So I saw that. Then I went to other people who are also distributor, wholesalers, and asked them if you have a solution or are you also struggling with the same thing. And to my surprise, everyone said the same thing, that yes, we would want a solution for a problem like this. So that led me to create a business plan. I did not have a traction. All I had was a track record. I have worked at companies like Flipkart, Myntra earlier, and have helped teams there grow. And I knew I had the opportunity to see small businesses, all my family members, distant relatives, they are in some sort of business. So I had the chance to, while I was growing up, to understand how they operate and what are their challenges and what is their mindset. These investors, at least initial stage, what they are looking for is that why are you the right person to solve a particular problem, and if the problem is big enough, that if it is solved, is there a good monetary benefit that would come out. So because of that, Antler invested in me, I believe.
अच्छा like I got the idea, I will come to that. और अभी आपने जो बोला why you are the right person, तो when you went to Antler तो आपकी ऐप रेडी थी क्या मार्केट में?
नहीं, कुछ भी
वेबसाइट भी
ready
रेडी
नहीं था।
So in execution point of view से nothing was ready.
Yes.
But it was that idea कि जैसे आपने you have seen from entire childhood कि आपके पापा वो एक like even if I go to my kirana shop nearby, they have one register in which they will have the name of the person and they will have all the okay this time he took 120 130 like that, they will write all the numbers कि इतने का माल बिका, and then he will before closing that they will just show it so that there is no cut paste and that is only the trust factor and that register, and the next time when he come and he pays up तो वहाँ पे they will put it minus 5,000 rupees something like that कि इतना payment clear कर दिया and नया खाता खोल देंगे. तो every time when you have to search for a particular thing कि बिल वगैरह में किसका पैसा बचा हुआ है कितना पैसा, तो you have to go to the entire register and sometimes you will might even miss some small payment कि वो ऐसी की वैसी पड़ी रहेगी.
So that the case that you are talking about is a B2C case.
B2C के
where a retailer
हाँ
जो है वो अपने कस्टमर्स को उधारी पे पैसा माल दे रहा है.
Correct.
जो कि कुछ जैसे कि मान लो मैं पान खाने आता हूँ आपकी दुकान पे, आप एक पान वाले हो और मैं रोज पैसा नहीं देता हूँ, रोज शाम को आता हूँ, कभी एक पान लेता हूँ, कभी दो पान लेता हूँ, कभी सोडा पी लेता हूँ और 15 दिन बाद पैसा देता हूँ.
Correct.
So that is a solution that OK Credit and Khata Book etc. created for retailers. But they were not able to make significant money from these folks is because these folks have very limited tendency to pay because they earn very less. My idea was to go little up the supply chain wherein everyone has focused, whether it's phone pay, google pay, all these fintechs have up until now focused on payments from B2C. Nobody has focused on payments from B2B. The only payment methods available for a business to do to another business is NEFT, check, UPI also to some extent, but all of them doesn't carry any context why some payment is made. All of them require a huge time to reconcile. So we thought that we can create a B2B payments network wherein we can utilize the existing digitized data which they have done for GST compliances and help them improve their productivity.
So okay, got it. I got the idea also, and the thing is okay. So when you went, it was primarily that the experience that you carry over a period of
Yes.
time, that you have seen the problem on ground,
Yes.
and nobody else is solving, and you have good idea about the problem. वो एक conviction जो होता
Yes,
है.
yes.
So that help you to get the funding. That okay,
Yes.
he is the person. You like because already you come from corporate background, you have worked, you know how to solve problems. Okay, so that helped them कि okay, this guy can solve this problem. He has the resources. If we fund them,
Yes.
he can do it.
But it is always advisable that you build something. मतलब in my case, I was lucky that someone took a bet on me when I just had an idea and insight about the market, etc. But it is always advisable for people who are looking at it and are looking to raise funds that you also prove that whether you did whatever you could with your own resources.
अच्छा हाँ like जैसे when I was trying अगर इस चीज़ को if I can make it better then it's like कि if at the same place with the same investor, if I go with the same idea but I have execution, then they will prioritize me over you.
Yes,
It
yes.
will be like that.
Yes.
So if somebody who is actually having a good idea and the time from which like you are looking for investors, you are searching for the investors, meanwhile you should not sit idly. Your search for investment is a second job. Your main job is to build the product meanwhile.
Divide your time 50-50 and reach out to investors for 50% of the time. It's not like एक buffet लगा हुआ है आप जाके सबसे मिल लो. You go on the ground, create some solution which works for them. A minimum viable product is what the term used for that. So create that or get some sign-ups from them. So in my case, what I did is that I had some 20-30 businesses who told me that they had this problem. So and they were ready to talk to my investors, and the investor actually called a couple of them to understand whether to validate whatever I am saying is true. So if you have a potential list of customer and if they agree with what you are building, someone can take a bet on you. Yes, he understands the problem space and the problem is big enough, and if it is solved, enough money can be made, and the person is right to do it.
SaaS के टर्म में शायद हम लोग उसको वेट लिस्ट बोलते हैं कि you create a wait list so that you have a proof that people are interested, and once you launch the product, your product is ready, you can onboard them. Got it. अच्छा, like as you mentioned, Antler was not the only investor that you reach out. So you must have reached out to various investor like everyone else is doing. Okay. So what is the right channel? क्या मैं LinkedIn में मैसेज करूँ या मेल करूँ या फिर हर जगह करूँ? And what is the usual cycle कि एक बार किसी इन्वेस्टर का अटेंशन गया, ठीक है, जैसे सिद्धार्थ मान लो फ्यूचर में इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं, तो एक बार सिद्धार्थ का आपका अटेंशन गया, उस पॉइंट से इन्वेस्टमेंट मिलने तक की जो साइकिल होती है वो कैसी होती है, कितना लंबा होता है?
सबसे पहले तो आप जितने लोगों से रीच आउट, सबसे बेस्ट तो ये है कि जो भी इन्वेस्टर्स होते हैं वो थीसिस फोकस्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स करते हैं, कि कोई फिनटेक इन्वेस्टर है, कोई कंज्यूमर इन्वेस्टर है, तो सबसे पहले तो ये देखना चाहिए आइडियली कि किस इन्वेस्टर की थीसिस है उस मार्केट में जिस मार्केट में आप ऑपरेट कर रहे हो, और उन लोगों को आप लिंक्डइन के थ्रू, लिंक्डइन पे सब लोग अवेलेबल हैं, आप उनको रीच आउट करो विद अ स्मॉल स्निपेट ऑफ व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू डू, समथिंग दे डोंट हैव अ लॉट ऑफ अटेंशन स्पैन, सो try to write something which crystallizes your story, and then try to gauge their attention. Once the attention is there and they start talking to you, it depends on how much conviction you have, but it usually take 2 months, I believe, for anyone to form a conviction and give you a term sheet before someone, because people don't know you already, so they will try to identify whether they will try to talk to your existing employers, colleagues, all of that, to understand little more about you. So all of that process takes a couple of months, but once the term sheet etc is signed, it usually take 2 to 3 months for funds to come in. In my case, I was lucky to get the money in a month only, because the due diligence process etc was faster, because I myself knew little bit about the compliances, and hence made it smoother, but it usually take any legal. So once an investor decides that he is investing in you, once you sign a term sheet, then they will assign a legal expert, a lawyer, a legal firm, who will basically look at whether all the documents are in order or not, whether you have an active company, whether you have filed ROC compliances, whether you have GST registration, all the documents that are required for them to make you a active legal entity. And if you have business, for example,
other side businesses,
so then all of that they will look at, financials of your company. They will also take time. They are usually an external party who does all of it. So sooner you answer to them, if all your documents are sorted, they will help you file, and once you file and sign SHA, money transfer usually takes couple of weeks after all the process is done.
So basically it's like two things. First thing is that you make sure that all your filings and legally you are correct, and then
otherwise it will only add to the due diligence process. For example, if they say कि आपने auditor appoint नहीं किया हुआ है,
correct,
so even though the investor wants to give you money, you will first have to find a CA, make him an auditor, file that particular documents, share it with them, and then only
got it. Like even a lot of time people make a mistake कि they will not register as a private entity, and then
that's okay.
That's
okay. You can do everything with your own proprietorship way or a partnership way, but once you have enough interest from the investor, you can file the company, you can register a company, but it will add to the time that before, after signing the term sheet and money actually hitting the bank. But all of that can be taken care of. It is only a function of time. But the most important thing
For
is that are you solving a problem which is big enough, which is faced by a lot of people, and if a particular problem is solved, whether some money can be made and whether that outcome is big enough, because investor only invest VC money, at least with whatever limited understanding I have, is that they only invest in ideas which are, if done right, are worth a lot more.
Correct.
They are not looking for 2x 3x return. They are looking for 20x 30x 50x return.
Correct.
So they look for something which can become truly big. If you give them a business opportunity where they will double their money in 5 years, they'll not take it.
Got it.
So they need something which has the ability to astronomically scale and can become a bigger company over a period of time.
But what I can bring insight out of it is like that as a founder, people should be mentally prepared that it's not just finding the investor. You should have to be mentally prepared that after getting the investor confidence, still there will be 2 to 3 months of time to
minimum.
get that money into your account. So you should have that much amount of runway.
Yes.
It should not be like that you are reaching out to an investor in very last moment and you are stuck there that I have invested but I cannot, I don't have the money.
See, most investors are also friendly that way. And if they truly believe in what you are doing, they might figure out a way to give you a money in form of a loan, etc. to bridge that gap.
Quickly.
But yes, but usually it's always advisable that you try to reach out as soon as
On the right time.
at the right time, so that you have enough runway in your bank.
अच्छा ये बताओ जैसे you said about friendly investors and like that. So after getting investment from Antler, so what kind of support does Antler provide? Any kind of support, guidance, network?
Yes.
So
yes.
how does that is helping you to get, like, I think most people just get an investment from HNI or sometimes they take from somebody who is not from investment or this startup culture, but he has money, you just get the money from him. So when you are getting to an institutional investor who can help you in a long term way, तो वहाँ पे what kind of help you are getting?
So they, first of all, they don't mingle around too much with your business. They stick to the vision, the problem that we are solving, and how much progress have we made. And if any help is required, we touch base with them on a monthly basis, and we tell them that we are stuck here, or if we need some pep talk sometimes. They do all of that, but at the same time, they I can say that at least for Antler and my angels who have supported me, is that they don't try to run the business for you. They help you wherever you require. For example, if you want to connect with an NBFC, some of their portfolio company founders who have solved some problem, you want to learn from them, or they have a lot of expert who will talk to you. Sometimes you just need a pep talk and go to them, and they give you all the time so their task is to make you successful. So they give you all that help. They tell you what is the right time for what, and what should be your goal, all of that. They help you with goal setting, all of that.
Achha, got it. Like it can, I'm not sure it's funny, but like it's a curiosity question that is coming into my mind. Investors, when they pay you, like all the money come at one time, or it's like they keep a check that somebody is not misusing it. So how is that typical?
See, it depends on the type of investment, but usually it's all the money at one shot. Until unless there is a time-bound investment that has taken place.
Got it.
It's all the money.
अच्छा, वो मतलब टर्म शीट पे अगर नहीं लिखा तो इट विल बी वन शॉट.
Yes.
अदरवाइज टर्म शीट पे लिखा है तो वंस यू अचीव सर्टेन टारगेट या वंस यू
So those could be time-based, milestone-based investments, but usually with whatever limited understanding I have, people get all the money in one shot.
अच्छा, एक टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन कि जैसे आपने कहा कि यू गॉट द मनी व्हेन लाइक just because of you are the right person to solve, but कुछ build नहीं हुआ.
Antler took a bet on me, looking at all the data points that they had.
So उस टाइम पे valuation कैसे decide होती है, and like if you can tell कि like equity ये सारी चीजें कैसे decide we figure out valuation, उसके ऊपर if you put
So
some.
Antler had a fixed program wherein they take 9% and invest $250,000.
Okay.
So in my case, that was the valuation that came in.
Got it.
But usually the valuations are always it's a mark. There is no way to figure out valuation at this point.
हाँ.
The only way is that if that company can become $1 billion company after 10 years, then I need to have right now. If I look at 20% CAGR or 30% CAGR of that company, I need to have at least, let's say, $50 million is the max valuation that I can pay. And if I'm able to get a cut from 50 million to, let's say, 10 million, is the right valuation. So people are always, at least the VCs are, when they know that the outcome is going to be 100x from here, they first identify how big the company can be, and then what is the time required, and then they try to figure out, they reverse engineer and try to figure out कि अच्छा ये 10 साल में 1 बिलियन की बनेगी, तो अभी अगर 100 मिलियन पे भी मैं पैसा डालूँ तो मेरा पैसा डूबेगा नहीं,
समझा.
तो देन दे से कि अब इससे मैं कितना चीपर पे आ सकता हूँ.
Got it.
So there is no right mechanism. So revenue multiple, all of that works for a Series A company, in my opinion. I'm not sure there as well. I have not reached that place yet. But it is always the potential, and a markdown from a potential is how investors look at. And also you would also have a plan, right? As in, your plan will not consider only कि मैं अगले 2 साल में क्या करूँगा. Your plan, at least a tentative one, will say कि I will require X amount of money over a period of, let's say, 5-10 years to be able to build a company like this. Obviously those numbers keep on changing, but based on that you can figure out that okay, I need to
रफ आइडिया कि कितना पैसा
Yes.
मुझे लगेगा 2 साल में
yes
इस चीज को बिल्ड करने के लिए. एंड द अदर थिंग यू वर सेइंग इज टॉप डाउन अप्रोच, कि गेट एन आइडिया कि 10 साल में कंपनी कितनी होगी, देन उसके अकॉर्डिंग उसकी आज की वैल्यूएशन, एंड देन उसको आप इन्वेस्टर साइड से आप कितना मिनिमाइज करके आप दे सकते.
investors look at it that way.
Got it.
And that is how they invest. I'm not sure about late stage investor, but at least the early stage investor look at it that way.
Got it. Told. अभी के लिए there is too much of thing to digest, and you gave me a very good insight, especially about the Antler, how somebody can get funding, and really thank you, Siddharth.
No problem.
And especially for inviting me. We met at the event, and we are just 3 days we are here, and we are recording this conversation so that we can help people.
Sure.
So I really appreciate that, and thank you for lots
No
of
problem
insight
at
that you
all.
have shared.